welcome to the ZBHO Dojo. I know, it looks great, right? Looks great. You know, I know it's an upgrade. I know I didn't warn you. It's kind of a little soft opening. We're doing this late on a Sunday, just testing stuff out. That's my dog, Princess, right here. She has a cone of shame. She had some leg surgery, so wish her well in the chat if you would. She's getting her sutures removed tomorrow morning at like 8. But yeah, thanks for joining. Just want to introduce you to the, what do they call this? The shrine of my creativity, skill, and prowess. The other saints of CG. We have Lord Frazetta right here. Okay, we have St. Paul right about there. All right, we got St. Joseph right there. We got St. Ryan all the way over there. And then we've got the Archangel Raphael. All of you, the only reasons I have a job, basically. That's the way it is. That's the way it goes. But yeah, thank you for joining the stream. Today we're going to be talking about Thundercats. We're going to be talking about Panthro specifically. I got an idea in my head. We're going to see how long it takes, but we're going to kind of use the mannequin. We're going to pose it out, kind of concept a scene that I have in my head. We're going to see how that goes. And yeah, you're welcome to join the ZBHO Dojo at any time. Down below, like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. You know the drill. You've been watching YouTube a long time. You know the drill. All right, so please do enjoy your stay at the ZBHO Dojo. We're going to go over to the Hangout, where hopefully my boy Leo is waiting, ready to nerd out on some Thundercats. Hopefully later on we can have some special guests show up. So if you're watching and you're at the Zbrush Summit, please do give me a shout out. Love to hang out with you on the stream. I know, right? Beautiful. Look at this ZBHO Dojo. Look at this padded room with an even closer look at my dog with the cone of shame. All right? But yes, this is the ZBHO Dojo. We're going to get to work. We're going to talk to Leo. Let's see if he's in the room. Let's see if he's in the room. He is in the room. Leo, are you there? Always. So, Leo, for all those who don't know who you are, what you do, let them know real quick.
I'm a digital artist, 2D and 3D. I do a lot of characters. I educate. I'm currently involved with several classes, and I have an indie game studio that I'm co-owner of, and I'm working on my comic, and just having a lot of fun making art.
All right. And tonight, we just kind of spontaneously, well, Leo's been working on it, but me, I've kind of threw to him, hey, let's do a Thundercat stream. And he's a big nerd. You want to let him know how you brandished your car?
How dare you out me with the absolute truth. Yeah. I just got my new used car, and I got a nice little Thundercats logo in the back there. That little cat logo. Love it. It's a big part of the reason why I go by it.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. So we're gonna get some. I'm gonna be working on Panthro. You're gonna be working on Lino. Is that correct? What's your?
So yeah, more or less. This is a little fan project that I'm making that I'm doing on the side whenever I can afford to. So I want to do a line of a few of the Thundercats, but do a little crossover with Warhammer 40k. So this is me currently concepting Thundercats as Space Marines. And we'll see where that goes.
I love it. Yeah, mine, I'm going with like a super kung fu like Panthro, like not like bulky. I know we were talking about before the stream. We're kind of gonna keep it for the stream, but you know what you call it. But I kind of always imagined him as like a kung fu guy, as opposed to like the short bulky guy, and that's the way he just occurred to me until tonight. Whenever you're like, no, he's more like Wolverine, and I just looked at the character sheet, and it's like, yeah, he's like the shortest one.
Yeah, he really surprised me when I saw the model sheets. I don't know if those model sheets, those were official model sheets, if it's stuff that you looked up, but I don't know if it was that extreme in the show because they made Lionel really, really tall.
Yeah.
If I recall. Yeah, I always saw him as this mechanical, like engineer kind of combination of brains and bronze, almost like Beast from X-Men, where it's like, but size-wise, yeah, that's the one. And yeah. I think those sizes are pretty accurate. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, these are I think these are the official character sheets,
yes,
1986.
They are. I'm trying to remember if they used that in the show to the letter or not.
Yeah, because I don't know.
Love that shot.
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh, that's beautiful concept art for that.
Oh yeah, dude.
So yeah, he's definitely. I'm definitely interested in seeing your take on him as a kung fu type.
Yeah, because let me show you what I want to kind of do. Let me get my Pure Ref out. If you don't have Pure Ref, it's free. Just look up Pure Ref. But, you know, you should definitely give the guy about $5 because you're going to be using it a lot. Load images.
You're working on that. I'm working on Lionel as a chapter master for Space Marine fan-made chapter. Probably not sanctioned. It could be. There's bits of lore that I can make it work with.
Where is it? There it is. Thundercats, Panthro, Zbrush. But let me toss these over here. Okay. And let's see. Yeah, but kind of what I'm thinking, kind of something like this, right? Obviously with his uniform and all that, but he's like walking down some steps and he's looking at the viewer, but kind of like in this pose, but more of like a diagonal as opposed to a horizontal.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be pretty interesting. Definitely a different take. For me, just as a fan, I would say maybe it would be a younger Panthro before he bulked up too much. But I think that would be very, very interesting. We definitely used the nunchucks a lot, but he built all of their stuff, all of it.
Yeah.
All stuff. He built their castle. He built their tanks. He built their favorite camouflage, whatever means. He built.
But yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna concept some stuff out, and we're gonna get it going. So yeah, you can join Leo at Thunderstorm Art, right, on Twitch.
No, I'm not streaming it right now. I'm just recording this.
Oh, you're just recording? Okay.
Yeah. I'll put it up on YouTube and Facebook and probably my Patreon after this.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, what's up, Eric?
Who goes there?
Ghost Monkey.
Oh, it's my favorite Eric. It's one of my top 3 favorite Erics in the world.
Ooh, it's a tall order right there.
Wow. I was checking out you guys' stuff on the stream. Getting started.
Hell yeah, dude.
You made me think. I don't know who it was, but somebody did a Panthro that I really liked, and he kind of reminded me of. Do you guys remember the show Cage that was out a little while back?
Cage.
It was the Marvel show about, I believe it was Luke Cage.
The Luke Cage, the live action Luke Cage.
Yeah.
On Netflix, yeah.
And with Panthro, Luke Cage is more what I see as the kind of like traditional body build or feel for Panthro based on like the 80s cartoon. But somebody, I was trying to see if I can find it on ArtStation. Not that I want to, you know, pimp somebody else's work, but they did it. They also did a skinny version of Panthro that I haven't been able to find just yet. And it had that feel that Luke Cage has, but much more slender, like the guy that played his father. Now, I can't remember the actor. I could look it up. But the actor who played Luke Cage's father, they both were portrayed as having, you know, shaving their head, keeping their head bald.
Right.
And it just really felt right for either of those characters, as they have that sort of look and that feel. And I want to say this too. And one thing about Panthro, all the Panthros I've looked at on ArtStation, because I was listening for a minute, none of them really have that baldy look. They just have smooth heads. And whenever I look at Luke Cage, the actor who plays Luke Cage, who keeps his head shaved, the scalp has a very particular look, and it's, I don't want to call it knobbly because it's not, but it doesn't look as super slick as what everybody else is doing, and you really see it in scenes where the light is getting that highlight, and they're a little shiny from the from running or getting splashed or something like that. So I just thought I'd mention that. There's a lot of Panthros on ArtStation, and some of them are really good, and some of them are less so. So yeah.
Yeah. There's whatchamacallit, one guy I met at the summit, Luis Veta. He did like a movie, like a quality one with like all the maps and, you know, textures and all that stuff. It looks really, really good.
There is one on here that's really nice, where it's almost like somebody did Old Man Wolverine, but Old Man Panthro. And he's got a serious beard, and the posture is he's kind of hunched over, but he's still rocking the baldy, and that one is probably one of the single best ones on ArtStation. It's not the
Do you have a link?
One, but give me a second. I'm trying to re-find it because I'm.
Oh, and for all those on the stream, this is Eric Askew. You can find him at Worlds Overrun on Twitch and Facebook. So definitely make sure to give him a follow.
Yeah, the sad thing is when you type in Panthro in the search bar, it gives you both Panthro models, Panthro models, and for whatever reason, Black Leopard or Black Panther models. So it's very hard to find just Panthro. So this is an illustration, and this isn't the only one out there, but this one right here, it's almost like Panthro went up on the mountain. I'll send this to you through this chat, I think.
Yeah, it should work.
Okay. It's almost like Panthro went up on the mountain. He's old and grizzled. It looks like his face has taken some hits where his ocular sockets were deformed or damaged badly. He's got a couple nasty scars, and he's not rocking the baldy anymore, and maybe he just can't keep up with it. So he's bald on the pate of his skull, but he's kind of fuzzy towards the back. It's a very loose illustration by Edgar Gomez. It's probably one of the more. He's also deformed in proportions, but it's probably one of the more profound versions of what you'd expect from an ancient warrior.
Yeah, what was it? Yeah, this guy, Luis Veta.
Yes, Luis.
Yeah, he did this one. Let me share my screen. But yeah, he did. He did this one, which I thought was very, very classic and true to the cartoon, especially in body style and all that.
That version of Panthro looks a lot like an actor. I gotta look him up. He's an actor from the 70s. Oh just a second.
But yeah, he's got them rigged and everything, and yeah, he did a great job on this. So yeah, make sure to give Luis Vera a follow.
That version of Panthro, when I first look at it, reminds me of Telly Savalas. Even though he doesn't really have the same nose or face, he really kind of fits that feel when I first glance at him. You know what would be really kind of wicked?
What's that?
Is mixing Panthro with somebody like who is the guy in I'm trying to think of there's an Indian actor, or there's an actor that played an Indian character, and it's making me laugh my head off right now. I'm trying to contain myself. Never mind, just ignore me.
Okay.
I know who I wanna mention, but I can't for the life of me remember who it is. Actually, you know, it'd be horrible.
Indian actor?
Yeah, well, it's a British actor who played a famous Indian character, and I can't remember.
Oh, it's Khan. It's Benedict Cumberbatch.
No.
Star Trek.
No, much older character. Well, he'd have to be rocking a baldy. He couldn't be.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I know. God, fuck. What was he? He wasn't the same guy that did Pink Panther, right?
No, I don't
Back in the
think
day.
he was. I don't think he was.
Okay.
But there's a lot of great bald actors, modern bald actors. Well, I'm looking.
You're talking about Lawrence of Arabia? Is that who you're talking about?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking now for people that have a really cool look, whose facial structure would fit Panthro.
Yeah, hook it up.
So say for instance, you know, since Jason Statham's really thick, he could play. He could be fun as.
All right, here we go. Right, Lino. Let's figure.
But I mean, well, you know, if it wasn't Jason Statham, then it would have to be Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel's got much more of that Panthro look, but they're really not the right character.
Yeah.
They're not the right.
Maybe Joaquin Phoenix.
No. No.
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix should play every superhero from now on.
I had a friend tell me that, and he's an angry little man, and I say that with all the love in the world, but he said that movie was the single most uncomfortable film he's ever seen, and he's like, he's very, very funny guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I have never watched a film where I have been uncomfortable from start to finish.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I'm like, I'm glad he told me that.
Mm-hmm.
That's one more film I don't have to go see.
Oh man.
Not Tina?
No, I have no interest. I've got other priorities.
Yeah. Well, whenever you get a night off and it's on Prime or something or whatever, you should definitely watch it. It's good. It's good.
You know who would make a good Panthro, actually? It's Ice-T. Ice-T. Oh, no, wait, not Ice-T. LL Cool J.
What about The Rock?
Well, I think The Rock is...
I would love The Rock as Panthro.
I think The Rock would make a good Panthro, but he really is just too big.
All right, so...
The guy stands
Why
like...
can we imagine him as huge? He's fine.
Dude, he's almost 7 foot, isn't he? He's just
He's
massive.
a rock?
Yeah, you just make Lionel 12 foot.
Yeah, no problem. Just get Jason Momoa to be Lionel and get The Rock to be Panthro.
Oh, Jason Momoa's Lionel. Fuck yeah, dude.
Done, dude.
Done. I think the problem there is that Lino should be as actors go, the truth is, I think Lionel should be a very young actor, someone in their late 20s, early 30s, because Lionel has an air of naivete in
True.
most of the good cartoons or storylines about him. He's not the grizzled old warrior. You know what I mean?
I'm thinking younger Jason Momoa, really. But I don't know, like Jason Momoa in Conan was
Well, again, Conan, you know, in most cases, Conan had been around. He was a warrior slave. You know, he was.
yeah, but just his portrayal in that movie had a little bit of youthfulness to it, and I think this was after Khal Drogo, you know.
Right. Okay. Well, yeah.
So
I think it's also, you know, we don't really have a lot of, like, when I type in, you know, bald actors, most of the choices, most of these guys, you know, Ben Kingsley, Samuel Jackson, Jason Statham, most of these guys are, you know, mid to mid 40s all the way up to, you know, pushing 70s. I mean, the top 10 bald actors, you know, you've got Ben Kingsley, Samuel Jackson, Jason Statham, Bruce Willis, Vin Diesel, Patrick Stewart, and a couple more. And one of these guys is even dead. I'm like, I should actually, you know what, I'm gonna type in young.
you need to get Mr. T to play Panthro. That needs to happen. 100%.
You know who might actually be good at it? Because I always thought Panthro had kind of a sense of humor. Is Trace Gibson.
Trace Gibson.
Let me see if I can find out what he's played in. He's played in a bunch of different things, but he might be all wrong because he'd have to learn some. He'd have to like catch up on his martial arts, you know.
Yeah, he needs to bulk up. He needs to bulk up for this.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's got the face for it. I haven't seen anything he's done, so I don't know.
I've seen a bunch of things he's done. I just can't name them. Because I recognize him. He's not normally a lead actor.
Yeah, my sense of Panthro from the cartoons is that he's he has really high strength and really high intelligence. Like he's the guy who's like the strongest out of all of them, except Lionel.
You know what? Fuck it, we're going all in. Terry Crews should be Panthro.
Sold. Terry Crews has anything. I'm in.
I'm going hard in the paint. It's got to be.
He can play Chitara. I don't care. I'm still in. Terry Crews can do whatever he wants. He can do whatever he wants.
That man is a trip and a half.
Yeah, he's way too big to be Panthro, but I'm okay with the reimagining of Panthro as a giant dude.
Well, you know what? If it weren't for the fact that Michael Clark Duncan was like, you want to talk big? Too bad he's passed. You know, he would be a ridiculous Panthro because he also had a great sense of humor.
Nice. Yeah, Panthro always had his little quips there whenever somebody was messing with his technology. Yeah,
you know who would be really great? Did you guys saw Underworld, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the guy with the really, really deep voice?
Oh yeah.
There you go. He should be Panthro. Could you imagine him? I know. Is he still alive? Hold on. Trying to look him up. He's still alive?
Yeah, you could just do a CG and then find good voice actors and just make it look however the fuck you want.
Oh, come on now.
Dude.
That just sounds lazy.
Wow. You know, we did not come this far as a society to not do whatever we want with CG. Alright?
It's very true.
It's fine. It's gonna be a video game. It's way more likely to be a video game than a show. Well, we'll see. We'll see how Masters of the Kevin Smith Master of the Universe go. Maybe they'll get a proper reboot for Thundercats after that.
I'm having a hard time finding. You know what movie I would really love to see remastered or remade is we were just talking about this. 10,000 Leagues Over the Sea. We were talking about how awesome that film was, and that I would love to see it with, you know, kind of like today's technology.
Oh, you can count on them to get to it eventually.
Yeah. They'll run out of
I-
videos
I
soon
think
enough.
that they've already kind of whatevered about things that are that old, because that's a pretty old movie. You know, they haven't remade a bunch of things that could be much more complex. Why can I not find this actor?
Maybe he never existed.
Don't do this.
Ooh.
Don't you dare gaslight me. I'll come over to your place and
Don't threaten me with a good time.
who said I was threatening you with a good time? I was gonna give you a toilet and upper decker.
Ooh, damn. Not a lower deck.
No, you don't want to know.
I cannot find this actor. Maybe I need to look at the second film.
What film was he?
He was in the Underworld films, but I can't. I think he had a bigger part in, I thought, the second film. So that's what I was looking at.
What was his character?
He's give me a second. Just let me look. Wait, I might have found it. I'm hoping. Here it is. His name is Kevin Gruvas, and he's got this crazy deep voice, like almost like when he was a kid, somebody punched him in the throat, and it's just like it's like if a straight six was like gargling gravel. But this is the actor. Let me see if there's any video attached to his work.
Him as Panthro?
No, yeah, him as Panthro. Him as Panthro, because
He got the look. He looks familiar. I've seen him do. Oh, I remember this character. Yeah. I could definitely see him as Panthro for sure. For sure. If he can goof around, like, because Panthro is the perfect balance between intimidation and goofing around.
yeah.
Like from what I remember. Yeah, if he can get that comedic timing down, I think he could rock it as Panthro.
I don't. Apparently, he's been in several things. Cannon Buster? Oh, it's a TV series.
Yeah, it's on Netflix, I think.
Yeah, Kevin Gravion.
Is that how you pronounce it?
I don't know things.
Too many vowels. in a row.
Thanks everybody for
V-R-E-V-I-O-U.
watching the stream and stopping by. I do appreciate every one of you. Yeah, we are working on a Panthro Thundercat mix with Bruce Lee, kind of like a little bit more kung fu. But yeah, we're gonna go for this type of body style, a little bit more limber, and we'll see how it goes. If we gotta change it, we'll definitely change it. But yeah, enjoy the stream. If you have any questions, put them in the chat. Hopefully we can get to them. And thanks for watching. I really do appreciate you.
But yeah, there's a lot of good people that can play the characters.
I think Joaquin Phoenix still.
You know, I know he's considered by many to be a superb actor, but there's a lot of roles that he's taken that are just really hit or miss.
How dare you?
I don't know why you're trying to thin him out all the time.
I know, man.
Trying to whitewash him. Is that what you're trying to do?
Ooh.
I don't think he's white. He's
Panthro?
like, no. Joaquin Phoenix?
Joaquin Phoenix is white.
I don't know.
No, he's Cuban.
Vegan.
He's vegan. No, I think he's Cuban.
He's Cuban. Is he
Cuban.
Cuban?
I think he's Cuban. You want to be Cuban, man?
Like Joaquin is not a Swedish name, dude. I want to have Phoenix as the last name. It's badass. Phoenix.
We'll just change it.
Rise from the ashes. No, I'm not gonna do it. I like my name too much.
I think it'd be a whole lot cooler if it was Phoenix.
You think that I would be cooler if I changed my last name to Phoenix?
Oh, anything.
And then your first name to Joaquin.
And my first name to Joaquin, and then do a surgery to look more like him and take acting
There we
classes
go. There we go.
be more like him. And that way we can hang out and you'll feel like you're hanging out with somebody who's worth your time. Is that what this is?
Well, I didn't go that far with it.
Well, how dare you?
Okay.
Thanks, Hiram. Hiram posted something mean on at Facebook.
Doesn't surprise me.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Mhm.
He's always mean to me, you know. Whenever I come around, and he's just like over there, and he just says hurtful things.
Hmm.
Like I
Fine.
don't, yeah,
It's-
you know, I don't want
it's-
to.
It's jealousy, man. He wants you to come back to him.
Hmm.
I just, you know, it's over.
He
Just let it go.
he
Let it
misses
go.
he
Done.
misses you, and it's
You know, you gotta move on. You gotta move on.
So I do need to talk to you about this in the future. I've downloaded the software for streaming, but I think this week I'm gonna try and start my 100 hands,
Oh, nice.
and I may need a little bit of your guidance to set that up. But
Yeah, I got your back.
thanks, man. And I don't know what you guys did today, but I got to play test my board game with a serious gamer and his son, and so I was really. They gave me some good stuff. I've got like almost 3 pages of material to transcribe, and we made a bunch of edits, and we played one full game, which took about 2 hours because they had to learn the game. So that's what I.
Nice. How did it went well?
Yeah, that's man. Good job.
It was awesome. It was really awesome because I was expecting to have a much harsher response, and he said to me, he's like, this is the kind of game that every dungeon master and every serious gamer should be taking with them to events, because it's the kind of game that you can throw it down and play it, and it doesn't play like anything else, but it has a lot of elements that people are familiar with, and it was a lot of fun. And his son beat us out. He beat us out by easily good. He had a lead of a good 4 points. So it was pretty wild, and it was nice to see the game played from start to finish. So
That's awesome, man.
hopefully first quarter I'm gonna be working on some miniatures for my new tabletop game.
That's about out soon. That's that good news, brother.
Heck yeah, I'm gonna make sure you guys get a chance to take a look at it later when we get a little bit more polished, because I know you guys don't necessarily have time for games, but I think that sharing creative stuff amongst artists is kind of like art bait,
Yeah, it's that good stuff.
Yeah, and it's a different type of problem solving, because you gotta, just like editing a sculpt or working on a design, you move a thing and you edit it and you refine it, and then if it works, and you move on to the next thing. It's the same thing with this. When you play test it, you tweak it, you look for insight and you look for upsight, and then you go in and make edits and changes, and you're like, oh, I forgot to write a rule in here, and so on and so forth. But yeah, Spicer,
Yes, sir.
what do you think he's? I'm looking at Bruce here because I love this photo.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. For some reason, my computer is all slow. There we go. Wait, what were you saying?
I'm looking at the photo and I'm looking at what you're doing, and I'm trying to figure out if Bruce Lee is standing on a step or on flat ground.
Oh, he's on flat ground, but I'm putting him on steps.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
Shake those hips. Shake that money maker.
Mm.
That reminds me of. Do you ever see that? video for gorillas when he's getting food out of the fridge and he's like, or no wait, one of the videos, the lead, the band lead guitarist does that move, and I always found it to be kind of awesome and grotesque at the same time. You reminded me of something though, watching you pose this that I need to write down for myself.
So have either of you been to the chiropractor?
Never had to go to the chiropractor. I do go to a masseuse who I would love to see. Yesterday, since I didn't have internet and I couldn't do a lot of the work I was supposed to do, including meetings, I rode my bike on this thing called the Airline Trail. I rode just shy of 22 miles.
Oh, nice.
Ooh. It's the first ride I've done in a while, and it's one of the longest rides I've done in a long time. My lower back, my hips, and my knees are all kind of achy. So,
Good stuff, dude.
well, Spicer's been trying to get me to live a little bit more healthy, and I've definitely put on weight because of my sedentary lifestyle. So,
Listen to Spicer.
I need to get out on the bike a little bit more often.
You got this, dude.
Well, I want to be one of those skinny, sexy guys, you know.
It's possible.
I hear that's a good life.
I want to be able to walk down New York Street, turn sideways, and disappear. So, Leah, what are you working on today?
Doing my take on a little crossover between Thundercats and Warhammer 40k.
That'll be interesting. Which race are you looking at?
Which race for 40k?
Yeah.
So there is a little known and not officially recognized race that of sanctioned mutations in the Imperium called Felonids, and there's never been any official art made of them. But because they're sanctioned by the Imperium, I was like, well, they're called Felonids, so I'm gonna decide they're the Thundercats, and I'm making a chapter based on their home planet. Which is basically just a human variant, because there's a bunch of mutants that the lore of the Imperium of Man allows to remain and not get purged. And,
okay.
Yeah.
I only know the core races, which is the Tau, the Tyranid, all that stuff.
Oh, it's none of them.
I don't think I've ever heard of this.
It's a very obscure piece of lore and fluff. Yeah, it's pretty obscure.
See, I would have thought that there would be. I'm thinking based on. I would base it on. I'm trying to remember. What was the Simpsons spin-off? Futurama. I would think that it would be the Amazons from Futurama. Death by Snoo Snoo.
The Thundercats?
No, these characters you were talking about.
Oh, the Felonids. Yeah, it's possible. Maybe it's maybe that's what they had in mind for it, but nobody. As best of my knowledge, there isn't official lore addressing them. So a lot of people have been doing like anime cat girls, fan art, all of that stuff, and um, yeah, I don't know. So just my take, but really, I'll probably give it more thought than I needed to. It just Thundercats and 40K crossover. You know what I mean?
Well, better be excellent.
Huh?
It better be excellent.
Oh, okay. In that case, let me change what I'm doing.
Yeah, it can't be. It can't be a warm turd, dude.
Oh, we can't? Oh, damn. Alright. I gotta start over. You're over.
Alrighty, sounds good.
What are you doing right now, Ryan?
I'm transcribing the notes for my playtesting. I was looking at Spicer. Spicer actually gave me some good information just by looking at him posing. He reminded me of something that I learned from animation, which is when posing a character, you want to lead with something. So I actually put that in my notes for the beginning of the week. Yeah. One second, and I just gotta ping that I need to respond to. But yeah, I'm not working on anything right now. It's late. I had a long day playtesting, so.
Speaking of Lupo, he's watching you right now on Facebook.
Oh, what? Oh, Lupo Vera?
Yeah.
Lupo Vera, are you there, Lupo Vera?
Our resident Thundercats expert.
Yes. The man. The myth.
Does that mean he's
The legend.
does that mean he's a furry?
Does it?
No.
No?
I mean, all things are possible.
There's an anime that came out and it's all anthropomorphized animals, and they said don't watch this if you're a furry. And like within the first episode, I think like 3 animal characters get killed. It was awesome.
There's something wrong with you, dude.
Yeah,
Why?
you might want to
But
get that checked, dude.
I just thought it was funny.
Look, the death of furries is not funny, okay?
I think the death of any character in anime is funny. Makes it more real.
Makes it more. Oh, speaking of anime, have y'all seen Redline?
Oh, let me look that up. It sounds vaguely familiar. But
It's like a futuristic car racing.
Oh,
It's by the same guy who did the Animatrix.
Yeah, he's one of the guys that worked on the Animatrix. I think I've seen part of it. I didn't know it came out. It came out in 2009. I might have seen the whole thing. I remember seeing the trailer for it, and it was ridiculous.
Dude, that is like one of the most perfect animes I've ever seen. It is so good. I mean, it's like Lupin III like level.
Yeah.
Have you seen Lupin the Third? The 2008 version or whatever it is, or the
the
fifth.
Yeah. I watch a lot. Sadly, I watch a lot of anime. I think that a lot of the stories are just so crazy, and like there's so much to there's so much craziness to see, and there's some really good stuff out there. There's also a lot of garbage.
Yeah.
But sometimes the garbage is actually better than some of the stuff that we normally watch. There's one anime, it's a horror anime, and apparently it's these monsters that eat children.
Mm-hmm.
So the children are all on like a farm. Oh man, that one was brutal. I only got through a couple episodes of that, and I was like, I'm done. I just
How do you like it when characters get killed?
It was how do I put this? There's the difference between when a character gets okay. I'm a little squeamish about horror, but if a character gets killed because of, say, for instance, a fight or a conflict.
Anakin Raj, Lupin was a good movie. Yeah, for sure.
See, in horror,
So it's too gratuitous for that one?
yeah, in a lot of horror stuff, it's gratuitous death and murder just that doesn't really promote the storyline, just really doesn't do a lot for me. And not to mention that, like, yeah, sure, I like monster movies, I like monsters, but it's like real horror stuff doesn't really do a lot for me. Because I kind of grew up on some weird stuff, man. It's like, I love The Thing and I like Aliens, but like asking me to watch like Freddy Krueger or that one where the girl comes out of the well or comes out of your television, it's like that stuff does nothing for me, and I'm just bored to tears. So it's my tastes are so bizarre.
No, definitely I can relate.
Oh, you're talking about The Ring?
A lot of time.
Yeah, dude, that movie fucked me up, man.
Like certain art styles too. Like the one about the Fire Force, right? That's popular right now. That's actually pretty. Fire Force is pretty badass. The animation, even though the characters are really, they're really stylized and kind of ridiculous. But there's there's surprisingly a lot of garbage. Like the last
surprising
though. Yes and no. I mean, there's some things out there that are really good. Like what's really, and sometimes the weirder it is, the better. Like there's a series out there right now, and it's called. We got a picture of it here. There's this guy who's got a gun as a head. and it's I'm gonna send you the link. Just give me a second. And I'm trying to remember I'm trying to find the name of it. I thought it was called Gun Force or something like that. But this character's got he's like this modified human. He's got a gun for a head, and it's a really bizarre. Oh, here it is. It's called No Gun Life, and it's so strange to me that I can't not watch it because it's just weird. It's almost surreal. I love surrealism. This may not be a very good link, but see if you try that one. You can see the guy with a gun in it.
I'm pretty sure I've seen it around.
Well, it's brand new. I only think they have a couple. I think they only have 1 or 2 episodes out just yet.
That does not look for me. Wow, the art style is almost like really like serious for anime.
Oh, it's very serious.
But the guy just has a gun for a head.
Yeah. But he's not the only he's not the only modified human. In fact, it reminds me a little bit of some of the characters from Battle Angel, Alita, where they're kind of like cybernetic. I'm talking to our buddy Michael about his XMV
Oh yeah.
Academy stuff. Weirdly, you know what? I'll mention one more and then I'll stop talking about anime. There's an anime about this this guy who doesn't have like his father sacrifices him to these. It's like ancient Japanese time.
Mm-hmm.
He sacrifices his son to the demons to make his lands, because he's the shogun, prosperous. And his mother tries to protect him by praying to like a goddess. And so he's born, and he's born alive, but he's missing all his limbs, he's missing his skin and stuff.
I heard about this.
Oh, it was probably one of the better storylines of that kind of genre that I've seen in a while, and him fighting the demons was intense. It was really surprisingly good. Yeah, but there's a lot of garbage too. There's a lot of stuff that's like, oh, we're gonna produce some mildly attractive anime with no real story. Go from there.
Yeah.
It's kind of like one of those artists that sculpts the head and then stick figures everything else, or just roughs it in, and it's like, okay, I'm done. And you're
Are you talking about me?
you gotta finish the whole thing, man.
Were you talking about us?
Why does it only have mittens for hands? No, I'm just
It really feels like a personal attack.
I'm talking.
I know.
bullshit.
It feels like
You know what? No,
feels like I should be defending myself, like physically.
No.
Okay, that's just my style, okay?
My style is called half-assed, and I work in my studio, which I call the shit show.
Oh, so you heard about me.
Yeah, your mother was talking about you again.
Ooh.
What?
Snap.
Stop it.
I don't need this kind of negativity in my life right now. Alright.
What kind of negativity do you need in your life right now?
Just about.
Yeah, because we have all types.
Yeah. What do you have up front right now?
Well, let's see. I mean, are you looking for more of a head high, or are you looking more of a body?
I don't understand that reference.
Okay, all right. Let's just get you some edibles and get you out of here, then.
Okay.
Oh, man.
So who's your favorite Thundercat?
Somebody I knew did a beautiful Chitara. I mean, absolutely one of the. Yeah, she's pretty awesome. I think when I was a kid, it was the cartoon was so much about Lion-O, you couldn't see anything but him. But the more you look at it, the guys that really stuck out were Chitara and Panthro stuck out the most. Chitara's, I guess her brother seemed really kind of dull and boring from when I was a kid. And then there was the twins.
Chitara had a brother? I don't remember.
Yeah, well, all right. Let me see if I can find the character roster. I always said he was her brother.
What, Tigra? What?
Tiger wasn't her brother at all.
Well, it shows what I know, man. I haven't.
Oh, they were kissing cousins.
Is that what it was?
That's what it was, really.
No.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that episode, brother.
I guess it was Tigra. Yeah, Tigra seemed kind of meh. And then there were the twins.
Oh, Kit and Kat.
Kit and Kat. Kit and Kat seemed interesting, but they were always getting into trouble. And then there was Snarf, who honestly I wish he fell asleep on the Thundercat tank and got chewed up.
Did you just say that about one of the most beloved characters of all time, Snarf Snarf? Snarf Snarf?
Dude,
Do you want to get snarfed in your snarf? Huh?
The only character dude, I don't know who adopted it first, Snarf or the Smurfs, but both of them need to be
You know what?
shocked repeatedly between the temples.
And this is the last time Eric's ever going to be on the stream, everybody. So say,
Oh, come on. You guys.
I don't know if we want this kind of.
Yeah, I can't deal with this type of negativity.
In the air,
Stop it.
On the build around here,
Mm-hmm.
Stop it.
Something over
Stop
here
it. You know exactly what I'm talking about. After the third Snarf, you're like, I'm gonna punt this little mother right in his weird little face. Actually, that's one of the things I really liked about the remake is I don't think Snarf talked in the remake. What was it, 2011 remake?
Oh, really?
I don't think he talked. Or I don't remember him talking.
Hey, I'll be right back.
Alrighty.
I remember the series was really well received amongst fans on some level, but I don't think it had enough juice for some reason. It confused the heck out of me because it was nicely done. The characters seemed to have much more depth. There was a lot more maturity to the series. There was a whole interaction with Lion-O and his father. Like his father gave him the Sword of Omens, and they had this whole thing about being responsible and being prepared to use the sword. I watched it. I was like, this is great stuff. And then those fools went, and tried to do that 2018 release where there were these absolute ridiculous, chibi, worthless characters, and I was like, somebody was seriously drunk when they greenlit this thing. After they were hopped up on cocaine. Methamphetamines.
Yeah, I never saw the latest incarnation of it. I heard it was pretty good though.
The chibi version? Or the
No, not the chibi version. No, I rioted against that one.
Oh yeah. If you can find it, I thought it was on Netflix. If you can find it, I think there's 2.5 seasons.
Wow.
It was surprisingly good.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah, it was worth the watch. The only problem is that when it drops off, where it stops, you're just kind of like, oh. Because you're like, they were about to lead into, more of this sort of like, hey, this is the relationship between the Thundercats and the other creatures on their planet. Because I don't think they left the planet. I could be mistaken, but I don't remember them leaving the planet. And it looks like it says they got one season. I don't know what that means, but it says 2011, 2012. They had a bunch of episodes, man. Like, I know it felt like 2 seasons. So.
Yeah, I'll have to watch that for sure.
Let me see if I find it. I'll go over to my anime site, type this in.
But yeah, but that red line, that was so good, man. So good.
There was, what else was really good? It's not the same as Redline, but it feels like it in a little bit. Is
Neck.
we leave now. Holy cow! All right, so apparently they only had one season, and it was 26 episodes, not including the primer.
What are you talking
The Thundercats,
2011.
yeah, 2011 version.
Yeah.
about? 2011 version.
That's the one that kind of released and seemed to do really well, but you know they weren't getting renewed for their next season, and I thought it was amazing, truthfully.
Was that the one where Lionel and Tiger were brothers? Okay. Sort of almost bigger.
You make that sort of omens bigger, make it massive.
Yes.
Got that deep breathing going on over there.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I heard something weird. I heard this. What the heck is that? Is that a little bit like a mechanical deep breathing?
I think that's Spicer.
No.
No. It was weird. It was almost like if you kind of like breathed into an echo machine. So it's kind of like weird. It was just weird. Oh, it's yeah. You hear that now?
It's the music? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. What are you doing? Jesus, guys, come on, man.
So have you ever had a sword give you a sight beyond sight?
Not a sword.
Every time I go to the bathroom.
It's sexist, and I love it.
that was infinitely stupid.
What's up?
You asked if you ever had a sword give you sight beyond sight, and my response was infinitely stupid, and I think Spicer picked up on it, but you didn't. So I was saying that was infinitely stupid. my joke was dumber than dumb.
Okay.
It was one of those jokes that was extra.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, one more word we're not going to be allowed to use soon.
Might as well use it while you can.
Yeah, extra.
Why will we not be allowed to use extra?
Extra, your extra, if I remember correctly, used to be referred to as extra special, which was another way of saying they were really, really dumb, or on the spectrum, or some other horrible thing.
Oh, is that really where it's from?
More or less. Without getting too picky about it. It's another way
It
to
was
tell.
like for like extra dramatic.
That might work too. That's never how I used it. So I always thought it was for extra special, which is another way of saying someone who's really not too bright.
Oh, you're so mean.
Well, my mom says I'm very bright. So.
Well, that's because of the radiation.
Yeah. That's how you get the superpower, right?
Dude, just because you can poop on command does not mean you have superpowers.
See, I have a lot of doctors who will beg to differ. Can you type harder and faster, please?
I'm sorry, I'm actually going to call it a night.
Oh yeah, your headliner is typing too loud?
No.
And for my next trick.
Oh. You know what? I did create something the other day that I want to share with you that I think is hysterical.
No, I'm worried.
Oh. Well, part of me, likes to create kind of cartoon characters, but without being linked to one specific style. So I wanted to create sort of like kind of like a will-o-wisp, and I don't think you'll be able to show it to anybody, but I'll show it to you guys so that you can get a giggle out of it at the very least.
Yeah, let's do it.
But I threw these together just for a quick thing, and I thought they were cute.
Mm-hmm.
Either a will-o-wisp or like a little flame sprite.
Oh yeah, I like that. It's a nice style.
Yeah, something. I was thinking about this because of what do you call it? Remember the character, the little flame character in Howl's Moving Castle? And I was kind of thinking about that, and I was kind of thinking about what would that guy look like inside of a jack-o'-lantern or something like that.
I'm getting ready for Halloween over there.
I don't know if you saw it, but apparently Australians don't do Halloween.
Australians don't do Halloween?
No. So there's
Does anybody outside of America?
Sweden, definitely. Any place that worships death metal. Yeah.
Okay, you're in the middle of sentence?
I didn't know what to say after what Spicer said, so
He has that effect on people.
Sometimes.
He derailed my train of thought. He sent it right into the gutter.
Jesus, already.
That's what he does. That's what he does.
So do you think there's going to be another season of Stranger Things?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, still making their money, right?
Yeah, as soon as everybody's done with their movie schedule, they'll get back to it. But yeah, I'm excited for it. They did a really good job on that last season. Like the first season I wasn't too hot on. I wasn't really enjoying the characters, but the second season they won me back.
Stranger Things, you like second season?
Mm-hmm.
I like second season actually. It's the third season that I haven't seen yet.
Interesting. For me, I think the first season was the best, the second season was a dip, and the third season was almost as good as the first.
I
I
think
thought the second season was kind of forgettable. Sorry, go ahead.
I think what I liked about second season is it kind of expanded the world, because originally it felt like, you know, once you kind of have a grasp for what the world is, it feels kind of small initially, and then since the Stranger Thing, the entity that is the world / the Stranger Thing, feels a lot more expansive and feels more like a virus, like you could pass it on to anybody. That really freaked me out a lot about the second season, and gave me a lot of interest in what they could do with it.
You're gonna enjoy the third season. Spicer, what did you think about the third season?
Oh, I thought it was their best one for sure.
Okay.
Uh,
So we're gonna come down.
I'm gonna have to wait just a little bit before I can check that one out.
Yeah, it's worth it for sure. It's good weight.
I don't know why my keyboard's so loud for you guys, because it's really it's not super close to my microphone, but it's bothering me.
It's not bothering me.
It was a minute ago. Could you drive ladder?
Ooh, calling you out in chat.
See,
It doesn't bother me. I'm just giving you a hard time.
hang on.
But I mean, if we are talking about your loud keyboard, it is pretty loud. And I
Yes.
should know because
Thanks.
you know I never have a loud keyboard wherever I go. So.
Oh yeah. Leo's obviously the most quiet
Yeah.
keyboard artist ever.
I have really like probably like Lockheed Martin. They built the stealth, all the stealth aircraft, and I'm pretty sure that my keyboard came from the same cat factory because just nobody's ever aware of it. No, hold on, I gotta write a message.
Stealth tech.
Right. That sounds like you know when a Muppet has a spasm? That sounds like a Muppet had a spasm. All over your keyboard. It's like I'm having a full-on fit here. Hold on.
Oh, really? Oh, I just said hi to somebody.
Hold on, let me roll my entire body over this. Better yet, let me slam my body all over this entire keyboard for a good 20 seconds.
Oh no, I just can't.
I've actually been window shopping for new computer parts and what have you, and there are some. I know this sounds ridiculous to people that are like, I've got a laptop and I do all my stuff on it. But I've seen some beautiful keyboards where they're cleaner and they're smarter and they have a better feel without being so noisy. I'm really interested in upgrading my keyboard, even though I've had this keyboard for forever. Like one of the things I really like is a lot of the newer keyboards. You can get them where the shell is open in a couple of places, so that debris doesn't collect in the keyboard, and yet it still has the kind of design that we have now, where if someone pours fluid into it, it can't get into the mechanics of the keyboard because of the way the shell is designed. Yeah, so when I see smart things like that, I'm just like, oh.
Find some good shit over there. Who is that? What is it?
I think your chair is more horrible than your keyboard, though.
Ooh.
You do?
I haven't heard something squeak so much since some horrible thing I could say that would get me in a lot of trouble. But
You almost had it.
Leo, where are you living now?
Just at your mom's.
Wow, dude. Wow.
Too much?
A lot of love there.
I'm sorry?
I said a lot of love there.
Well, you know it.
Peanut butter jelly sandwiches for everybody.
No, I'm in San Antonio.
No kidding.
Yeah. You ever been?
I can't say that I have. There's a slight possibility that I drove through there a couple of times.
Going where?
To your mom's house?
Oh, okay.
So this is a your mom joke session. All right.
Hey, he pulled that trigger first. Hold on, let me see where San Antonio is compared to where I've driven in the past. No, I did not go through San Antonio.
No, I did not think you did.
Well, here's the funny thing.
Unless you're driving to Cuba or some shit, I don't know why you.
I think it's pronounced Cuba.
Oh, okay.
You gotta get it right.
Thank you for the correction.
No, I know where we did go through parts of Texas. I drove to Oklahoma City and then went south. So I'm pretty sure I went through Dallas, then Houston, then down to 10, and went along the coast back to Orlando.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I've driven all over the place, man. Because I lived in Orlando. I currently live in Connecticut. I've been up and down the coast a number of times. I've lived in a couple places along the coast other than Connecticut. But Connecticut's like my home state.
Nice.
I've driven to Kansas City. I've driven to Detroit, Ohio, Chicago. I flew to California. I kind of like driving, but I also kind of get tired of it. Like I want to go to Virginia, meet up with my business partner about some stuff, and do some work. But Virginia's I think to get to where he is, which is Fredericksburg, I think it's like a 6 to 7 hour drive. Whereas if I just drive up 2 hours to Boston, I can get on an airplane and be there in an hour and a half. So that's like a 2 hour drive. It's like, okay, you're saving 2 hours and you don't have to drive the distance. But you still have to it's almost like, do you want to save those 2 hours, or is it just easier for you to drive down there and have your own car and you drive back? It's a weird thing. The only problem is that I despise driving through New York City. And to drive around it, I'm easily adding another 2 hours. So it's almost like
I hear it's terrible traffic wise.
They don't do themselves any favors, because 95 is the highway that goes up and down the coast. Mm-hmm. But driving through 95 through New York, it's brutal. Like, the only time you want to drive it is 3 in the morning when the majority of the world is asleep, so you don't have to deal with traffic. So yeah, it's weird, man. But no, I've traveled all over the place. I haven't gotten to stop in a lot of these places. Like, weirdly enough, the big hurricane that destroyed Louisiana.
Which one?
The big one. It happened probably 8 years ago.
Was it the same one that, no, 8 years? No, it wouldn't have been, yeah, it messed up Houston too, didn't it?
No.
No, we're talking Florida, okay.
We're talking Louisiana.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, New Orleans was, completely flooded and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically destroyed the city,
Yeah, exactly. we were driving back from whatchamacallit. We were driving back from Oklahoma City because we were at a wedding. And I wanted to stop in Louisiana because I was like, hey, let's stop in Louisiana. Let's get a hotel. Let's, take a day and do this thing. But the couple we were with was like, no, we need to drive through. And I'm like, I'm not driving through. I don't want to drive through. Like, I want to stop someplace. I'm like, I like to casually travel. I'm not one of those people who's like, I've got to drive through the whole thing. And that's a long haul. I mean, that's like a 20-hour drive. It's pretty rough on you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that we should have stopped. We should have stopped. We should have gone to Louisiana. We should have seen some of the sites. Should have taken our time, done our thing, because that was the same year. That was 2 months later. That storm came through and wiped out Louisiana, and I was like, "This will never be the same again."
Yeah, they're rebuilt, man. The city came back in a big bad way, man.
In some respects, it did, but it's never going to be the city that everybody talked about when I was younger. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's not like the end of the world, but you know, if you don't take the opportunities to do and see and participate, you get to miss out on stuff. You know what I mean?
It's an important life lesson right there.
Right?
Oh yeah. 100%.
What about you? You get to travel around a lot?
Me or Spicer?
Well, you, because Spicer's focusing on working like a professional.
No, I don't think he is. I haven't gotten to do a lot of traveling recently.
No, maybe next year. I'll get the opportunity to go up to Canada and go to like Quebec or Montreal or something.
Oh yeah, you want to go there?
Oh yeah. Why not?
Because there's clowns and ISIS out there, dude.
What's that?
There's clowns and ISIS out there. You gotta watch out.
In Montreal?
They're all over the place, dude. They're everywhere.
It could be in this very chat room.
No. Did they recruit you?
Oh God, no. The coffee was horrible.
Yeah.
I was thinking more. Not you, Spicer. I know no one can wash that brain.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking more of Leo.
Oh yeah, is that what you're thinking?
Ooh.
Interesting how your thoughts
Interesting.
go. Interesting.
How racist they are.
I didn't say it.
It had nothing to do with race.
Does now. Does now. You're a Nazi now. You're a Nazi. You're a Nazi.
Thanks, bunch.
What's your favorite year? Is it 88?
What?
Because that's racist
Never mind.
and xenophobic.
You know what? The weirdest thing that ever happened, and not like weird, like weird, like one of the weirdest things that happened to me that had nothing to do with anything was every now and again when I was younger I would shave my head just because, well, I hate dealing with my hair, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
And you're
Dude,
a Nazi.
This is what's so weird. It's like I had this girl tell me to my face and she was Indian, and we were friends. Like we had classes together. I was in college. She said that I looked like Hitler. I'm like, I haven't got any hair on my entire fucking head except for my eyebrows. How the hell do I look anything like for hair?
Maybe she was thinking of another Hitler.
Oh god.
Yeah.
I don't know. I looked at her. I'm like, are you okay? And she's like, we're still friends and everything. I'm like, why would you say that to me? What is wrong with you?
So now you've been walking around your entire life since then, just being like, man, I look like Hitler.
No, mostly I just think that it's weird because it's just really weird. It was like you know when we all have those moments when you don't think before you open your mouth, and then like that's what this poor girl did to me, and I was like, and up until she said that to me, I kind of had the hots for her because she was like beautiful, like thick Indian girl from like New Haven or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then she said that, I'm like, nope, we may still be friends, but I could never date somebody that said something so effing horrible.
But is it possible, just remotely possible, that it was less about what hair you're rocking and more about that mustache that you had back then?
I've never ever had a mustache, and I said I didn't have any hair on my head because I didn't have any hair on my head. I shaved my head and I shaved my face.
Oh,
I've never had a beard. I've had a goatee. I've had a chin strap, but I hate mustaches. I really don't like mustaches.
Was she like from America?
Yeah.
Or...
She was from New Haven.
Oh, was she born there?
There's a good possibility she was born there. I couldn't tell you if she was or she wasn't.
Yeah. Oh, weird.
Gonna lean it back. There we
What are you doing for Halloween?
Nothing.
go. Oh, you're just gonna dress like that? You know who Eris?
I gotta go over to Spicer's house, put on an apron, and make him dinner.
Like Sylvester Stallone. Do y'all know who Eris Colocantes is? He does a lot of like creature designs and stuff like that.
Does he have an art station?
Sure. Eris Colocantes. You'll know his work as soon as you see it.
I cannot spell his name. Do you have a link? Or can
Yeah,
you spell
sure.
it?
I'll put it. Eris Colocantes. This guy.
The name sounds familiar, but I might be.
This guy. You've seen his work everywhere. There's no way you haven't seen his work.
Where'd you post it?
Oh, here, let me share my screen, sorry. And don't ever yawn on my stream ever again. Do you understand me?
I wasn't yawning, I was dying. Oh, okay, yes.
Yeah. So I got his fish head mask for Halloween. I think it looks something like that. But yeah. And so, but yeah, hopefully it gets here before Halloween because I'd love to wear that thing.
Yeah, he's been doing some new stuff recently. I think the fish head is brand new. What did the fish head set you back?
400.
Ooh.
Really?
Yeah, but I've always wanted an Eris Colocantes piece, and whenever he's like, it's a mask, I'm like, fuck yes.
They're a silicone rubber.
Oh yeah.
They make a mold and they pour silicone rubber on the inside. It's similar to making a prosthetic.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But
They make a mold from the 3D printer.
but yeah, he also painted it as well. So
If I remember correctly, he doesn't do 3D printing. He's sculpting.
yeah, he does all practical.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's really good.
So he makes a clay sculpt and then they make a mold from that.
Mm-hmm.
And do the silicone. Nice. That's sick. Who paints those things?
I think he does, if I'm not mistaken.
For each order?
For each order, yeah.
Ooh.
He probably has also just so you know the type of work that you're talking about. I doubt he works entirely alone. He may have people that work with him.
Oh yeah.
Kind of job done. Painting silicone is it's like painting translucent resin. You kind of have you're letting the silicone take up a lot of what you would do with pigment. So you have to put a lot of translucent pigment down. You try not to paint in opaques, and the layers are super thin. It's pretty extraordinary, the people that do that. I've looked into it quite a bit, but it's really not something I personally am interested in pursuing. I actually like the harder aspect of resin, because it gives you a different feel and do different stuff with it. But they're just two different ways of interpreting sculpture. I know one guy who absolutely lives and dies for painting translucent resin and silicone, and he won't paint on opaque material because he loves the translucency of the materials.
Mm.
Oh, wow.
He's a ride or die guy.
Ride or die.
Yeah, ride or die. Mm-hmm. Well, gentlemen, it's 10 to 12 for me, and I've got to get up and do some things tomorrow.
All right,
So,
cool.
you guys
Yeah,
keep
we're about
working
to.
hard.
I'm about to end the stream anyway. So, are we gonna Borderlands it up or what?
You were just starting to block that thing out. It's starting to look like a thing.
Oh yeah, dude. Leave it for tomorrow, dude. You gotta leave him with something.
No. Shove it all down their throat.
He's pretty good from scratch. Just blocking things in.
Yeah, Eric, thanks for hanging out, man.
Yeah, dude.
Hey man, thanks for inviting me. I hope this was a lot of fun. I mean,
Always a pleasure.
I didn't get to see what Leo was doing.
I'll upload it. I'll try to upload it to Facebook later tonight and YouTube. I can send you a link if you want.
Nah, it's good, man. I'm just busting your chops because I'm watching.
Oh, okay. You don't care.
I'm watching. That's not what I said at all, is it?
That's kind of what you said
Don't.
in totality.
If you're gonna put something. Wow.
Wow.
No, it's fine. I understand.
Mm-hmm. All right, but before you go, Eric, tell everybody who you are, what you do, and where they can find you, bro.
My name is Eric Askew. I teach a course over at XMD for improving 3D printing. I also have my own brand of tabletop terrain for people that print tabletop terrain, which is called Worlds Overrun. And these two guys are my buddies. And I like to get to sculpt and make models, and I cut up people's stuff and make it print ready. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Does an amazing job at it too.
You're damn right about that, brother.
I just try to make other artists look good. So.
Mm-hmm. He's like Sling Blade, but with CG.
I like those French fry taters.
Biscuits and mustard.
I'm like Sling Blade. Somebody shoot me.
But yeah, man, we're gonna hit it tomorrow too. So whenever you're ready to do them hands, brother, join us tomorrow.
What a chore! Oh, speaking of, just before I, because I'm gonna bounce out. But before I do, what I'm gonna do, I talked to a friend of mine, and he thought this was a good idea. I know most of you are probably young enough that you don't know George Bridgman, but I have the George.
Oh, come on, man.
Stop it! I have the George Bridgman book of 100 hands. So even if I don't do 100 hands by the end of the year, I'm going to sculpt from this book. That way, although I have other references, this one's going to basically set up whatever poses I'm going to use for my 100 hands, and I'm going to try and sculpt it.
Oh, okay.
So,
It's badass, man.
Yeah.
Get her done.
Thank you guys so much for letting me hang with you guys. You're both amazing. I want to see what Leo's doing so he doesn't cry.
Yeah,
No.
that's the only reason.
Yeah, I think we're about to Borderlands it up. So.
Oh man, I had to take it off my computer, man. I needed the hard drive space.
I didn't even get to jam with you, bro.
Well, I'm gonna say this, man. You know, I gotta get a little bit of work on my belt, get some bills paid for by myself. I want to buy myself a new 2 terabyte SSD for my machine.
Mm.
Once I upgrade the hard drive space, I'll put it back on, and then I I can casually play a little bit when I'm not doing work and getting people's. So you guys have a nice night.
All right, brother. You too.
All right, have a good one. Peace. Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah.
We're gonna finish blocking in this rib cage and.
Yeah, well, it's looking real nice.
Hey, really? Just trying to get the anatomy down.
Yeah. It's like, you know a thing or two about anatomy.
It's like I teach it.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Something like that. Yeah.
Hmm.
Interesting. I really like this body type.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think when you're done, it's gonna look more like Black Panther, maybe.
Oh yeah, maybe.
It looks badass, though.
Hey, really?
Yeah, once you get the head down, it'll be cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the.
I love that dynamic.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna sculpt the head separately and just plop it on here
Yeah.
after the end.
Sounds like a plan.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, man, I love that dynamic pose, dude.
Yeah, still gotta keep refining it, but it'll get there.
The foundation's pretty good.
But yeah, we're gonna be tweaking things. But yeah. Yeah, so everybody watching the stream, do appreciate you watching. Tomorrow we're gonna be back for our 45-minute speed sculpt, and then we're gonna be working on this again. Let's go back to the front desk over at the ZBHO Dojo. All right, here we go. All right. So, yeah, tomorrow we'll be back with our 45-minute speed sculpt, and then we'll be working on this guy for maybe a couple hours, and hopefully Leo will join us. And if you haven't, like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. You know the drill. Thank you for joining the ZBHO Dojo. Hope you've enjoyed yourself. Hope you like the upgrade, the shrine, and the extreme perspective. But we'll see you next time.